Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela, and I'm here to do my card of the month for the month of March. I'm a little late getting it done, but I've had a lot of stuff going on, doctor's appointments, all kinds of stuff. So, and I just haven't felt like it. So here we go. And like I've said, the last 2 months, I've done a little different this year. I did drew the card. The year ahead, I did my year ahead spread in January. I pulled for each month of the year, and then I pulled from my Bonestone and Earth Flesh Tarot, and then I decided to add a little extra to the month, and I would do mind, body, and spirit or soul from the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck. This deck speaks very deeply to me, and that's why I decided to use it instead of my Oracle of Echoes by Anatorian, which is also the artist of the Bonestone. This deck is the first. This Oracle deck is the first one that really spoke deep volumes to me. So I figured, what better deck to use when you're doing a deep dive on a card. So, and I will be going over other cards that I liked. I didn't go into as depth as I did last month, just because I had too much going on. But I did pull a few other cards, and I will be reading the information in the book for the Bonestone and Earth Flesh Tarot, because the book is phenomenal. If you guys don't have this deck, the book alone is worth it. Avalon Cameron is an amazing writer, and as an aspiring writer, I hope to someday be at her caliber, because this book brings me to tears. It is so good. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into this. So my card of the month for the month of March was the Knight of Swords. And if you notice, every month so far has been a sword card. It's just crazy. That happened last year, where there was like probably 6 or 7 months in a row where I had swords cards. And I was like, it's one of those, because it's it's all about the mind. And there's my cat. Sorry. It's all about the mind. And there was a lot of issues with my mind last year, and probably this year too, where I just need to let go of certain beliefs, certain thoughts, patterns. And I really feel like I'm actually going into a deeper dive with tarot this year, doing those darker, more shadowy dives. I really, really like that. So for the Knight of Swords, I always see this, and I love that it's a female. She's got the owl here. It's just beautiful. And I've got a cat and dog over here playing, and I kind of keep watching them, because the dog likes to attack the cat sometimes. So if I pause it, I'm sorry. Because the dog's about 65 pounds and the cat's like maybe 10. So yeah. But yeah, I love that she's moving forward. She's charging in. I do, however, get this, kind of more negative aspect with this card. She's got her sword up. She's charging in, because the, swords are not emotion based. Maybe they charge in, because they are about the mind. Maybe they charge in without thinking, like they're supposed to, without a real game plan. And that's just my perspective on this card. And that actually speaks volumes to me, because sometimes I'll want something right now without thinking about the consequences, or I'll do something without realizing what effects that's going to have on others, around me. And so that's the way I see this card. I do see it as a kind of a strength card too, where she's just got this strength. She's charging in. She's got her owl with her, the wisdom, knowledge of knowing how to go to battle. And she's just charging in and going to battle, because she needs to. She needs to fight the good fight. And I love that about that card. So let's see what the book has to say. And I don't know that I got it. I have it saved, but I don't know if it's saved on that page. No, I have it on the Ten of Swords, which was last month's card. That's the page. And then this is what the book looks like inside for each card. There's like a thumbnail of the card, black and white, and then it's got all this, and there's like 4 pages for each card. It's crazy how much is in here. But I'm going to set this here and just read it to you guys and kind of zoom in a little bit here. Okay. Character of inspiration, Greek, goddess Athena. Astrology, Gemini. Elemental combination, heir of air. Essence, swift, courage, daring, fearless, analytical, perceptive, poised, warrior, champion, aggression, hostile, forceful, capable, valiant, wisdom, strategy, movement, challenger, chivalry. And so it's got all the meanings of the description of the cards, of the card, the positive and the negative kind of combined there. So the narrative, and each card has their own little story. So I'm going to read you the narrative. Lethal she rides, sword in hand, across the valley to meet with her war party. She has been formulating a brilliant battle strategy as she rides. The owl by her side is ever watchful, feeding her the jewels that will be her crowning glory. This plan above all others will cement her name in history. This battle will define her, and from a mighty legend will arise. In a reading, when the Knight of Swords appears in your reading, it may suggest that championing a cause is in order. You may need to employ strategic thinking to gain the upper hand in your situation. You may feel a surge of innovation. When applied effectively, this can lead to successful undertakings. Courage is yet another aspect of the Knight of Swords. Through courage, we demonstrate a certain level of mastery over our thoughts. The courageous of heart face their challenges in spite of their fears. Wow, I just got shivers on that. Your courage may resemble daring depending on your approach. It may prove advantageous in mentally disarming your opposition. As a person, the Knight of Swords is an individual in possession of a valiant heart, and whose courage is the very light that illuminates. The Knight of Swords is a quick thinker, decisive, and a champion for justice. The wisdom that the Knight of Swords possesses is part of a larger arsenal. Headstrong and deliberate, the Knight of Swords runs to the fray with an eagerness to intellectually dominate. This attitude demonstrates the arrogant side of the Knight of Swords. Nevertheless, there is an inherent nobility to this character that commands a certain level of respect, even trust. And reversed, when the Knight of Swords appears reversed in your reading, it may be a sign that you are acting on wild instinct rather than intellect. You may have a cavalier attitude, more concerned with winning and being right than with resolving the situation. And that kind of hit me on the head a little bit. Reversed, the Knight of Swords can highlight the rot festering in those once pure of heart. This rot can result in the rampant corruption of ideals, igniting tempers and quarrels. The reversed Knight of Swords may also point to an individual who does not stop to think before they speak. Such a lack of verbal filter may negatively impact those around her and lead to unnecessary misunderstandings and hostilities. Alternatively, the Knight of Swords reversed can depict a brilliant mind that has become idle over time, leading to dissatisfaction and the questioning of one's worth. Wow. And then their journal prompt says, do you believe in chivalry? And again, I didn't have time to go over these and kind of meditate on them, but I would say yes. When did you last feel courage? When I started my book and I self-published it 6 years ago. If you could champion a cause, what would it be? Child abuse. Write down one piece of earned wisdom. Earned wisdom would be do what makes you happy. Do what feels right to you. Don't let somebody else dictate your happiness. So that's what I got for the Knight of Swords. So for the bottom here, we have mind, body, and soul. And for the mind, I have big, bold vision. And it's to me, again, talking about the spiritual aspect of things with my mind. And it could go very well with this card as well. You have this big, bold vision, charge forward and be the Knight of Swords and have courage and follow through with it. So yeah, I love that. Love, love, love that. And then for the body, I have she feels, she knows. And I was just talking to somebody the other day about how I feel like my mediumship or psychic abilities have actually, I didn't know that they were kind of like picking up, but I feel like they're picking up again. And one of those abilities is feeling a spirit's pain that they felt when they were passing, or what they were feeling like. Because I've had two now that have came to me, and they were drugged. One was on purpose, one was not. And I actually felt the effects of being drugged. And I was like, that's new. And it's happened a couple of different times now where I'm like, that's something new that seems to be taking up momentum. So I love that it says she feels, she knows, because as soon as I was feeling those feelings, I knew what happened to them, what was going on with them, all these things I knew. So I love that. That kind of picked that up for me. And then for the spirit or the soul, I got Sacred Fool. And I think this goes back to the negative aspect of this card, where you're charging ahead without thinking. You're not really seeing that those around you, how those around you are being affected by the decisions to just charge ahead. And I love that. So that is my card of the month, and it's added cards with it. So I'm going to show you guys a few here. A few. And I'm going to flip these over so it doesn't really, or move them actually altogether. So yeah, a few that I had to show that were just gorgeous. So here we have from the Elemental Wisdom Tarot, the Knight of Swords, and it's a man, but he's on a giant, looks like eagle. I love that. I love that he's on this bird, and he's just like charging it in full force, full body armor, ready to start swinging into battle on a bird. That's just awesome. And then we have from my Stretch Tarot, the Knight of Swords, and again, he's charging ahead. He's actually charging so fast that his is that a wing? He's got a wing there. It looks like he's got wings. Holy cow. I didn't notice that. It looks like almost like a cape, but that's the sky back there. But yeah, he's got wings too. So it's almost like he's doubling down. He's got the fast horse and the wings to just charge ahead. And then the key word is passion. And he's following his passion. He's being a knight. And I love that. So then for the Light Seers, and everybody's seen this. This one I feel is more of a negative aspect of this card, where he's charging ahead, not really seeing, what's going on around him or anything like that. Yeah. And then we have from my Super Lunaris Tarot, and it's a female knight. I love it, love it, love it so much. Love it. And yeah, she looks like she's fighting the wind there. It looks like the tree's blowing. And of course it's air, so yeah. And then we have from my Oak, Ash, and Thorn. And I find it interesting that he's blindfolded, because to me that's another negative aspect of this card, where he's blindly going into battle, not knowing what's going on or what's happening. And I just found that that's a cool, different take on it. First of all, it's a bird, and he's blindfolded. So it's kind of like he's blind to the plan of what's going to happen. And then we have from my Tarot de la Nuit, and he's gorgeous. And I love that there's a white wolf. It's snowing. It almost reminds you of Game of Thrones when it's snowing, and you can almost hear the silence. He's already made his kill. It's almost like the battle is over, and he's just soaking in the the aftermath of what has gone down. And I love that take. It's completely different, and I love it. And we have from my Mermaid Tarot. And again, it's a female. She's riding a wave. So I feel like this card actually combines the air and the water. You got the emotional side, and then you got the intellectual side of things. And I like that. That to me is a different take on this card as well. And I love that. And then we got the Santa Muerta. And I just showed that because it's fun. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And then we have my 5-cent tarot. And I love how it's got keywords, and it's the Roadrunner. Who else could charge in somewhere fast other than the Roadrunner? Love it. But it's the Knight of Needles, and it's focus, unstoppable, impulsive. Actually, that's a negative one. That's upside down. Focus and courage. And then if you flip it over, the negative aspect is unpredictable, aimless, and impulsive. But I love that. And then I had to throw a Rider-Waite-Smith in there. This is from my Borderless Centennial. And again, it's typical. And I love it in this one how the wind is going as well. Looks like the trees are being blown to the side a little. So I feel like this also combines... it's not combining anything. It's really giving the effect that this is part of the suit of air. I love that. And then last but not least, actually I have another one. Oh yeah, 2 more. My Journey of the Sacred Bee. And it's an owl. And I love it. Love it. And Knight of Swords. Yeah, it's beautiful. And then we have from my last one, Tarot of the She. And in this deck, the swords are Dreamers and the Dreamer Prince. And it's the Gift of Liberty is the keywords. I love this. It's more all about the mind in this one. Yeah, and it's almost like there's so much chaos going on. He's got to cover his ears to tune that out. Yep, so that is my card of the month for the month of March was the Knight of Swords. Next month, we will finally have another suit. So yeah, if you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And you guys have a good night. Bye.